Okay, welcome to the webinar this evening. Could renting a vehicle be better than buying here in Portugal? With our friends and associates from ACP. João Monteiro is here to answer that question. Good evening to you, João. It's great to have you here.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. Hi, everyone.
So that's a great question, isn't it? I mean, I have myself been hiring cars pre-pandemic, and I think a lot changed during the pandemic with the cost of hire cars. I was fortunate enough to be given a vehicle whilst here in Portugal. But the idea of a brand new vehicle that I can rent long term, which may be better than buying one, is very attractive, and I'm sure it is to other people here too. So could you tell us more, please?
Yeah, sure. We have a quick presentation, and although I'm biased, so I would answer to that question. Yes, it makes sense to rent instead of buying. But we have a quick presentation that we would like to go through, and let me just share my screen here quickly. I think everyone is seeing already, right?
Perfect. Yes, absolutely right. Thank you for that.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for the opportunity again to be here today and speak a little bit about the product that we have available in Portugal. And indeed, we believe that this is an alternative to buying a car, and it is a better alternative because we believe that the modern consumer is indeed more keen to rent and to subscribe products or services instead of owning the asset. And so I will try to explain a little bit better what is the product and why we believe this is the best solution for you guys while staying here in Portugal.
Fantastic.
So, starting here is just to show you that we have a website that you can access, and I will try to, by the end of my slides, to give a quick tour to show you how to access the website and to find the offers. But going right to the details of the product. So what is, just for everyone to be aligned with the same level of information, what is operational leasing, or to lease a car or to rent it? It has a different name in each country, but it is really to rent a car with every service, all the services included, and for a mid or long-term period. I will go into details in a little bit. Let me just hide here everyone. Okay, so the main difference and what you need to understand is that operational leasing product is something that allows you to not make a large investment in acquiring the car. Everyone that has already bought a car knows that it's not a few dollars or euros that you have to spend. It's a big investment, and we believe that by renting a car, you will be able to have the same experience of owning it, but with a more comfortable solution, with all the services included, and allowing you to better estimate the cost that you will have with mobility. So the big difference between renting a car and buying one, when you buy one, you have to pay the full price of that car, and with operational leasing, you will pay only the difference between the value, the cost of the car, and the estimated resale value that we establish by the end of the contract. So we buy the car for X amount of euros, and we believe that after 4 or 5 years and X amount of mileage, we will be able to resell that car to the used car market for X amount, and you will pay only the difference between one cost and the other. And of course, that for this particular reason, this will be a less amount of rent that you will have on a monthly basis. And also, we believe that the full experience of operational leasing, it makes sense when having all the services included, allowing you to have the most predictability of the costs of managing that car. And exactly as we find out today with Netflix and Spotify and things like that, in the past we were used to go to Blockbuster and to rent a movie, or go to the Virgin store and buy a CD. But today we are completely comfortable with paying a monthly fee and having all the services included and everything available to us in an easier way. And we believe that on the car side, this is almost the same thing, but of course with some adaptations, since it's not such an easy product or simple product as the ones I referred. Let me just try to move the slide. So trying to deep dive a little bit more what we have included in the contracts, and we tend to say that all the services are included, but of course that we have the details to show you. So not only the financing of the vehicle is included, as I explained before, but also the services like maintenance, if we are speaking about preventive or corrective maintenance. So everything is included regarding this topic. Also, we included unlimited tires. We started a couple of decades ago. We started to sell this product with, for example, with 4 tires or 8 tires included. But we quickly understood that we would be able to have a competitive price and give the comfort to the customer that everything is included and all the tires that you need to maintain the safety of the car. So maintenance, preventive, and corrective. Unlimited tires is also included. We also want you to be sure that you will have always a mobility solution available, even when the car is being repaired or doing some preventive maintenance. So we also include in our offers the replacement vehicle during the time where the car is being repaired or intervened in a garage. We also include always in our product, and since the car is financed by LeasePlan and is owned by ACP, is owned by ACP. In this case, we have a known damage insurance with a specific deductible applicable to each campaign, and this is something, of course, it's a little bit more detailed car by car, and we can give more information if you request that. We have also unwear and tear insurance that allows you to cover possible damage that will happen by the end of the contract. It's perfectly normal that by using a car in the city center, etc., there are small damages that will happen, and we also want to ensure that by the end of the contract you will not have a big expense to repair damages, and we also include an insurance for this. Also, the contingency insurance is something that we included in the sense that we don't want this to happen, but sometimes the customers, or because they didn't understood what the panel of the car was showing, there was the need to stop the car or add oil or something like that. And for these type of situations, we want the client to be also insured, and we have included this option that allows customers, if something happens that is the responsibility of the customers on the customer side, we also have that covered, and we have a specific deductible to be implemented on this, and I can explain a little bit more in the next slides or by the end when we have the Q&A. Also, every tax is included, not only the UC, the annual tax that is mandatory here in Portugal, or even the IPO, the mandatory inspection that is needed with a specific set of rules after the 4th year in passenger cars or 2 years in light commercial vehicles. So, hope that this was clear and it was not fast enough. So trying to wrap up the benefits that we believe that the operational leasing product have, and this is why we believe this is the best solution for everyone that will come and visit or live in Portugal during a while. So the first one is that this solution will allow customers to reduce the total cost of using a car, because not only we have, of course, by buying X amount of car in volume, we will have better conditions with the OEMs. So we have a big discount when buying the cars when compared with the normal private individual that will try to buy only one car. And also because we have all the services included, and this is managed in our entire fleet. Just for you to have a perception, we manage more than 100,000 cars here in Portugal, and so we have a big network of garages all around the country, around 800 to be more precise, and so we have a lot of conditions that allow us to make available a better price for the final customer when compared with trying to buy the car directly or going directly to the garage and make a specific service. So we believe that this will be a most cost-efficient solution for the end customer, and also the predictability of costs. That is something that I believe is really important, and everyone that has already owned the car knows that it's not all roses, right? We have sometimes, or because the car has some damage, or because there is a defect from the factory, something like that. We know that that is not completely predictable, the cost that we will have with that car. And so by having all the services included in paying a monthly flat fee during the contract, you will know exactly how much the car will cost you during that period. Also, this is something that could not be valued by everyone in the same way, but having a new or used car each 36 or 48 or 60 months and renew the car with this cadence, we believe that this is something that will be comfortable and also will be appreciated by the customer, not having the same car for 10 years, for example. Also, by having one unique point of contact, we in the carefree management that we have by including all the services, this of course will be much more easier to manage the car. You just need to speak with ACP and not need to go to the garage and speak with the insurance company, etc. So you have everything centralized in one point of contact. And also, last but not least, mobility being always assured is something important, mainly if you come to Portugal, you don't have family or friends to support you. It's common when something is needed in a car and getting to the garage, it's really common to ask for a friend or a family to support us during 1 day or 2 days. But in this case, you don't need, because if the car is stopped for any means, you will have the ability to have a replacement vehicle available to you at the same day or in a couple of hours. So these are the 5 main reasons I believe to have to answer the initial question. If this is a better solution than buying a car, we believe so, and that this is why. If you don't mind, I would like to give a quick tour of the ACP website, where you may find more information. Let me just jump to the website. I believe you are already seeing it, right?
I'm still seeing a slide there,
Okay.
but it's on the laptop within the presentation there. But that was great. Thank you very much for that. We have got questions coming in already. There you go. You're on the website now.
Yeah, it's already there. Thank you so much. So starting in the beginning of the ACP website, I'm sorry, but the internet is a little bit slow today. So this is in Portuguese, but it's easy to use. By using the Google Translate, you will be able to find it. But go to the vehicle section, you'll be able to find here this buy car tab. And here inside you have renting for private individuals, for companies, and even renting for used cars. This is something recently, as a couple of years, we started to make the same experience that the clients have with a new car. They are able to have it with a used car. It's the cars that will finish the contracts from the renting by renting a new car. And so this is of course all the guarantees, insurance that the car is great, in great conditions, and ready for a new contract. But jumping right here to private renting for privates, you have the campaigns that we work with. Just to better explain, although we have the possibility for a customer to require us or ask for us for a quotation for a specific car with X amount of optionals, with that specific version and everything personalized to it, we also have campaigns that we structure by buying cars in bulk. So we buy, for example, 100 cars, all of them with the same brand, model, and version, and then you will be able to adapt the number of months or mileage that you want to include. But these are closed offers, and in which we are able to give a more competitive pricing to the end customer. So I would invite you guys to check the website and see what we have here available. But for example, using Dacia Duster or Seat Arona examples, you have a campaign for 60 months and a total mileage of 50,000 kilometers, so 10,000 kilometers per year. And here you have the services summarized, but entering here on CyberMice to know more, here you have the information of the car, a little introduction, a quick introduction, which car we are speaking about, and also you are able to see all the details of the campaign here. For example, in this case, we have a down payment of 2,500 euros. This is completely flexible, and I would like to highlight this because although we may have campaigns with down payments included or not, this is something that the customer may say to us, we don't want to have a down payment, and we remove that. And of course, the monthly fee will be higher because you don't have that payment on the beginning of the contract. But this is something flexible, and please have in mind this. So then you have the term, the mileage, the services that are included. I will not go through that because I've already explained it. Then you have the technical specs of the car. Here we are able to find the equipment that comes from the OEM in all the cars on all the models of Seat Arona, also the optionals that we include, and also to find other models that may interest you most. And if you are interested in knowing more without any commitment, of course, you will be able to ring this number or also click here and send us the form asking for a contact, and we'll we'll have this contact and try to explain all the doubts that you have and also find other solutions if you need. Just to show you also here, I think it's important because this is something different and related to used cars. Here you have some campaigns that we have available today. And although you may find prices are more or less the same that we have on new cars campaign, the big difference that we have is in the majority of the cases, we have a term that is less than the others that I show with like 60 months and things like that. So it's really common for us to make campaigns for used cars, for example, to 18 months, 24 months, and this probably can be more interesting to you if you are only in Portugal for a couple of years or 3 years or something like that. Okay, just to conclude and pass to Julio, that we'll try to explain a little bit more the bureaucracy process of hiring a car with ACP. Just to highlight also that sorry, I stopped seeing you. Yeah, just to highlight that we don't have only the campaigns that are here. If you have a specific interest, please talk to us and we will try to find a better solution for you guys. Okay, let me just stop share and get back to the PowerPoint.
That's great, Joel. Thank you so much. Very efficient and to the point. Loads of questions coming in, which is fantastic. So keep putting those in the chat. We're going to go to Julio now, are we?
Yeah, it's to Julio. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, João. Good evening. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the explanation from João and in the ACP renting benefits. Well, I will talk about the second stage of our journey. When you choose the brand and the model with the ACP renting, we will start the risk analysis. So we can check the guarantees that we will need so you can move on with us in this service. Well, we will have here all the documentation that we will need, normal documentation, copy of national ID cards or passports, husband and wife if applicable, valid residence permit in Portugal, and this is very important for us. So we can give you a long-term solution, proof of residence, copy of the bank account number, bank statements for the last 3 months of a bank in Portugal. But if you are arriving, probably need to check an alternative, for example, the bank account of your country, the copy of the central credit register when we can see if you have any responsibility in our country, proof of income in Portugal, for example, salary receipt, valid employment contract, annual declaration of income. Well, this is the mandatory information. But in the last years, João, I don't know if you can pass for the second slide. Thank you. in the last year, LeasePlan want to try to get the approval process more easier for Asian citizens. So we need to understand exactly the reality in our country. Sorry. We need to understand exactly, okay, you are arriving to our country, get a solution with us. So you will stay in our country for 3-4 years or for 2 years. So we need to understand if you have the residence permit too. The housing in Portugal, it will be important too to our credit team. So we need to understand exactly your intention, the time that you will be in Portugal, as well the need for the vehicle. In some cases, if you are staying in Portugal for 12 months or 24 months, we can adapt and choose some solution that we have for used cars. For example, you can have a short-term solution for 12 months and a deposit of six monthly rent. So we are here to help you to understand your reality and give you the best solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Julio, so much for that. I'm sorry I missed the beginning of you coming in. I was dumped unceremoniously out of my own webinar there. And I think my chat history has been wiped in the process. But I'll do my best to come to the questions now, unless, of course, João or Julio, you have anything else to add?
Not on my side. Glad to answer any questions that you have.
Yes.
I think it's better to remove the screen sharing just to see everyone.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you very much. That was really good. Really to the point, and all the info there. I've got quite a few questions myself now, based on some of the things I can remember from the chat as well. The insurance. What sort of figures are we talking about, and are they optional insurances?
No, it's not optional. So you need to have the own damage insurance included always. So all the prices that we show on the website have also that included already, and you may adapt the deductible. So by default, we tend to work with 2 or 4% of the cost of the car. But for example, if the client wants to reduce the monthly rent by having an higher deductible, we also have the ability to do it till a maximum of 20%.
Ah, okay. So the prices you showed there were with the 3 insurances?
Yeah, with the insurance. Yeah, with all the insurances included. Correct.
All right, that's good to know. Thank you. Just clearing that up. It may just be me that was wondering that, and not anybody else. But we've cleared that up anyway. Annual mileage, of course. Questions were coming in about annual mileage. You've covered that, haven't you? And if people do go over the annual mileage, however, are there penalties to pay, or can you negotiate further mileage?
Yeah, you can negotiate through the contract till 3 months before the closure of the contract. You are able to ask for us to adapt to the real mileage that you have, and we make that calculation in the system.
And so how is it quite punishing? I mean, this can be quite a difficult thing at the end of leases, can't it?
Yeah, by the end. So if you don't recalculate the mileage and you deliver the car by the end of the contract, and we find out that you have, for example, more 20K mileage, indeed, it will be a big penalty to have. But from our experience, what customers do, they tend to say in the beginning of the contract, the mileage, the more or less the exact mileage that we will need. And if there is something changing in their lives and they need to adapt, the first thing that they will do is to talk with us and to adapt that. And we're also flexible. We don't want anyone to conclude the operational leasing experience with a bad experience, for sure.
No, I understand that. And I got the sense of that with what Julio was saying there. You're trying to get the deal done, aren't you? It's not prohibitive anyway. And particularly with expats, there are going to be some different circumstances, people saying here in the chat, of course, that they might not be able to provide some of the data that you're looking for, or the criteria you're looking for, but you're open to chatting about it.
Of course, of course.
Getting the deal done. Okay, fantastic. Mike Campion likes the idea. I remember that from earlier in the chat. Why have a liability when you can do a lease rental deal in this way? And people do have different words about this, but I think we've got there in the end about how this is actually working, regardless of what name we're calling it in different parts of the world. But his question is, and it's the question of the moment, do you do electric vehicles?
Yes, we do. And thanks you for sending that question, because I believe that this product makes sense for all the cars and the majority of the customers. But on EVs, and since we are talking about somehow a technology product, right, that is improving every year. And we believe that making an investment in buying an electric car, probably in 5 or 6 years, the car is already with low battery and having new batteries available in the market. And so by hiring a car through operational leasing, you will have, for example, 4 or 5 years of the contract. By the end, you will be presented with new cars, modern solutions. And so it makes sense, in my opinion, more for electric vehicles.
Okay. All right. So not only do you have them, but you would steer people, pardon the pun, in that direction.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Although if you want to visit all the country around with an electric car, probably you have some difficulties, of course. But yeah, we push for electric cars a lot, and this is a strategic thing for us for a long time.
It is the electric elephant in the room question, that, isn't
it? Exactly.
Great vehicle to have.
Not only electric cars, because, for example, we have plug-in hybrids. That is something that is an intermediate solution, and probably is the first stage for someone to experience having an electric vehicle.
All right, superb. Desiree was asking, this may be more of a question for ACPHQ here and Isadora, but is it only available or is it available in the small towns? I mean, basically, you can do this online, can't you? And your delivery presumably takes place anywhere in Portugal.
Exactly.
Yes,
this
exactly.
one is for me. Sorry, Isadora.
No,
yeah.
João can also answer it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and sorry for not highlighting that before, but yeah, this is a completely online and telephone process since the beginning. And by the end, we can have the car available in the region that you are. And even by the end, if you want, we can deliver the car in your door. So
although if you prefer personal assistance, you can also visit an ACP office that are at national level. Okay.
Excellent. And you're all over the place, aren't you? In the shopping malls, notably, of Portugal, you can find an ACP. You're never far from an ACP shop, which is good to know. Isadora, there, in case you're wondering, that's not Isadora's front room, her living room. That is the ACP HQ that you can see, the fine building of the ACP in Lisbon behind it. Fantastic.
Our headquarters.
The HQ there. João, when you were going through the website, you mentioned private. Are there also options for businesses to rent in a slightly different way and get some tax efficiency possibly?
Yeah, we have, you have the renting for privates and just below renting for companies. Indeed, companies or companies in Portugal, for example, for electric vehicles or plug-in hybrid, have some tax efficiency. So indeed, it makes sense to look into that. And when speaking with us, we can explain a little bit more how it works and the benefits that we will find for each type of combustion, I would say.
Superb. Excellent. Okay. And somebody was asking about minimum leases, and we can probably do that question along with the other question that's being asked. What happens if you need to finish early? What are the penalties for that, and can it be done?
Yeah, you are able to do it. And after starting the contract, you will be able to early terminate the contract, and you will pay 40% of the monthly rents that you would have till the end of the contract. For example, just to turn it easier, if you have 10 months till the end of the contract, if you want to terminate it earlier, you will pay 4 months of rent.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good to know. Okay. So again, not too punishing there, and a bit of a win-win, hopefully, for both people, both parties there. Great question from Susan. Thank you, Susan. What is the optimum lease period? That's a great question, considering depreciation. You must have looked at this and been asked this before. What do you think that is, on a monthly wise?
A really great question. I would say that it's eligible to go to our consultancy team to work a little bit more because it makes a lot of sense for sure. It differs between cars. I would say the average would be between 30 months and 60 months. And this is always the relation between the cost of the car and the resale value. So if we have a specific brand or model that we know that has higher resale values here in Portugal, of course, that car, for example, by a short period, probably it will be a more efficient term.
Okay, brilliant. And I'm not sure if we covered there the minimum. Obviously, the optimum is between 30 and 5, depending on the cars you've just said. But what's the shortest lease term you do?
Yeah, for new cars, it starts in 24 months, okay? And for used cars, we have usually is 18 months, I would say.
Okay, great. Any extra insurances? Jeff was asking about if you can purchase extra insurances, but Nunu's here tonight from Winsurance. Thanks for being here tonight, Nunu. There aren't any other things to insure, are there, after you've done those three?
Yeah, we tend to include the maximum product that we have. All the solutions are by default included in our campaigns. But for example, you can adapt, as I was saying, the deductible. If you don't want to take any risk and you want to have no deductible, you are able to make this kind of adaptation to the insurance that is already included. And also the unwear fair and tear insurance that is always included. For example, what we include by default is 500 euros, but you can extend this to 1,000 euros, 1,500 euros, for example. But from our experience, 500 euros, it's really enough to take care of that small damages that we are used to have in the cars with a normal utilization for sure.
Okay, can you pay? This is a question from Tech Cowgirl. Good evening to you. Can you pay for the whole lease term up front?
Yeah, you may, but I believe it would be not the best solution for the customer, because you can keep that money on your side and pay it monthly. So there would be no difference between paying the entire contract in the beginning or paying each month. So Brilliant. You can have that money, for example, in the bank.
Or in crypto, probably, for Tech Cowgirl, I suspect.
Yeah. But you need to take care in
a strong nerve. I think she knows what she's doing in that department. But yeah, you might be better off investing. We're not giving advice here, but you might be better off investing it rather than paying it all up front there. Great question from Anna. Thank you for forwarding this to me, Anna. It was asked on behalf of somebody else. Can you take the car out of the country? What are the other insurance restrictions? Can you drive all over Europe?
You can drive all over European Union. If you need to go to other countries, for example, the north of Africa, Morocco, or something like that, you may go, but you need to request a special license from LeasePlan to get the car to there. And also, just to add up, because I think this is important, we don't limitate in any means the driver. So you can have the car being driven by the husband, the spouse, the children that had the driver license really recently. We don't have any changes for the monthly cost.
Okay, that's brilliant. Yeah, so just to reiterate, the kids can drive it, but they do have to have a driving license. Obviously.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's not that good. Okay, what happens if a Benfica fan hits your car and drives off? That's all covered in the insurance, whichever team they support, right?
Yes, we have. In my case, I'm red, so I'm from Benfica. So great question.
Thank you for that, Andy, for that brilliant question there. We were asked as well what financial information is needed from the client to get approval for the rental. I think Julia went through all of that. I don't know if you have an extra question to ask on that. That I think was from Dominic possibly earlier on. Okay, since it includes everything, come on, Stephen, does that include the gasoline used as well? I'm afraid the two things you're going to have to do are your gasolio or your gasolina here, right?
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, you need to pay. You can also request to have like a monthly cost included in the rent, and then we can, by the end of the year, for example, see if you paid enough to the fuel that you used. But this is something that is outside of the monthly rent, and also tools or parking, etc. This is not included.
No, okay.
And if you are an ACP membership, you will have a discount every day on gas. So
there you go. So if you're dragging your feet becoming an ACP member, and we can get you that at a preferential rate, make sure you approach ACP through us, send us your details, and we'll get you connected to ACP there. That becomes a better deal every day, doesn't it, at the moment? I think saving on the gas prices. Brilliant. So Chris Smith, does the driver need to carry their own liability insurance? I'm thinking no. I suppose there are insurance products that you could add on top, but it's all taken care of. It's very thoughtfully created here, so that all the insurances you might need are built in on the prices that you saw there, and they are to some extent negotiable. The other thing as well that expats and people coming to Portugal might not realize, the C/EVA shows that it includes the value-added tax, right?
Exactly. If you see an S, it's without VAT. Yeah.
Okay. So Sem IVA or com IVA is com IVA there. It's all included in the price that you see on the website that João showed us there. Exactly. Excellent question from Amit as well. And I needed to ask you that bit of jargon, the OEM, they're the dealerships, right? The OEM?
Exactly. Okay. Are the brands.
They're the dealerships, and you're connected to loads of them. Some people are going to be thinking, yeah, I do like that. What was it, your Dasher? But can I have it in red? I mean, some people just want the color. They don't care about the rest of the car and the specification or how big the engine is. They want the color. You're looking at having probably the widest and biggest buying power, so you can find the sort of specification and finishes people are looking for. There is some people can make their own specific requirements there.
Yeah, and if you are lucky and if you find a common color, I would say actually you may find it also available in our campaigns. So you can ask us for a specific car with a specific color and equipment, and we will find it for you for sure. And you also have a lot of colors available in our closed campaigns. So yeah, I believe we have, and red is a great color. So.
It seems to me that most cars in Portugal are black or silver these days. I mean, is that just me, or would people agree with that?
No, yeah, and more recently, white also.
Oh, white, okay, yeah.
Yes. 20 years ago, it was really common to be white because people want to not to pay the metallic paint. But today, it's like really common for people to ask white cars. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So no worries, color choices are available. I think Amit also asking there, can you get a benefit on EV charging as well as the gas prices there, Isadora? Is there an advantage on the electric charging as well?
Not yet, but,
okay.
But wait for us.
Wait for it. It's in the pipeline, kind of, in the cable.
That's only what I can say.
All right. We have got a link. Thank you, Sally, for that, to join ACP. Well worth doing. So many benefits. And we may hear a little bit more from Isadora when we go to the closed hands up session in just a moment, which we'll do. Remember to sign up as a premium member, of course, of Expats Portugal, because you get VIP treatment and you're assured a place on these webinars. And we're going to those premium members in just a moment who get first go on the webinars on a Thursday evening. But anything we should add at this moment before we stop the recording, João or Julio, that we didn't include before?
I think we covered everything, or the majority. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the questions.
Not at all. And we'll go to some questions in a hands-up situation in just a moment. Thank you so much to that point. Superb.
Thank you so much.